Ang susunod na programa ay rated PG. Ito ay nangangailangan ng patnubay at gabay ng magulang para sa mga batang manonood.
From the history that guides in navigation in perilous times, this is the Chronoscope, where times unfold, your portal to the past. For the headlines: the Filipino cultural heritage, the Filipino-American relations, government peace treaties with the Muslim Filipinos, institutional history of schools, corporations, industries, and religious groups, profile of a prominent Filipino. For the Chronoscope, where times unfold, your anchor, Ms. Rosen V. Lico.
Mayong buntag, Tidicians! Thank you for tuning in to our unique takes on our current events. We don't just report history, we bring it back to life. Our mission is to take you on an extraordinary journey through the annals of time, connecting the dots between the past, present, and future. We explore how history informs our present and guides our future, offering insights and lessons that are relevant today as they were in the past. Join us as we embark on an entrailing adventure through the corridors of time. This is not just a news channel. This is your window to history, where the past comes alive and enriches our understanding of the world we inhabit. In the annals of Philippine history, the year 2001 stand out as a turning point for heritage conservationists who flexed their muscles, forming partnerships with environmentalists to protect the nation's rich cultural legacy. A positive wave swept through the country, marked by significant events that underscored the importance of preserving historical landmarks and traditions. For further information, here is Ms. Generos Ledesma. Jen.
National Museum played a central role by designating 26 churches as national treasures, sparking a robust restoration program initiated with the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. This concerted effort aimed to safeguard and revitalize these cultural landmarks, ensuring they stand the test of time. On the international stage, the UNESCO Asia Pacific Heritage Awards recognized the Nielsen Tower in Makati with an honorable mention. This Art Deco structure, once one of Asia's earliest airports, received praise for its adaptive reuse as the Filipinas Heritage Library. The UNESCO Arirang Prize further honored the hudhud, a traditional Ifugao harvest chant, as one of the masterpieces of oral and intangible heritage of humanity. However, this positive momentum was not without its challenges. The demolition of Manila's Jai Alai building in June 2000 served as a wake-up call, exposing the fragility of the nation's remaining symbols from the past. Unfortunately, before a resolution could be reached, Manila Mayor Lito Atienza issued the order to demolish the building, leaving a sense of helplessness among those advocating for heritage preservation. The importance of heritage preservation goes beyond the physical structures. It extends to the collection of cultural markers that define Filipinos as a unique people. The clash between creative destruction and the contemporary view that conserving heritage forms the basis for sustainable urban development and national identity became apparent in 2001. Manila Mayor Atienza's announcement of plans to construct the park and ride, coupled with a proposal to relocate the city's The picnic in the park protest held on World Environment Day in June 2001 at Arroceros Forest Park, organized by the Wiener Foundation, showcased the importance of green spaces and renewing city air quality. This event, serenading the threatened Mehan Garden, emphasized the need for balance between development and preserving inner city open spaces. The Department of Environment and National Resources responded by revoking the environmental clearance certificate for the park and ride and issuing a temporary restraining order. The legal process emphasized that necessary permits from the National Historical Institute and the National Museum must precede any construction, highlighting the importance of adhering to existing laws for heritage protection. However, challenges persisted as city authorities ignored the TRO and continued construction until the illegal structure was completed in December 2001. Similar cases were reported indicating a disregard for NHI and National Museum laws in favor for developmental projects in various locations across the country. The inscription of the rice terraces of the Philippine Cordilleras on the UNESCO World Heritage List marked the culmination of a year of setting precedents. It underscored that the concern for heritage is multi-sectoral and that adaptive reuse, as exemplified by the Nielsen Tower, offers a viable solution within the context of valuable urban real estate. As the heritage events of 2001 crystallized the Filipinos' vision of the importance of culture surviving the ages, they also bring attention on the ongoing battle for the heritage preservation. The trashing of Philippine cities reflects a national neglect of our heritage, emphasizing the need for a collective understanding and love for our surroundings. The year 2001 was indeed a milestone in the ongoing struggle to ensure that the rich tapestry of Philippine heritage endures for future generations. Back to you, Lico.
In the historical tapestry of Balingiga, Philippines, the hunting tool of bells resonates with a tale of surprise attacks and the turning point of the Philippine-American War. The year was 1901 when Company C of the 9th Infantry Regiment arrived in Balingiga, fraternizing with the locals, only to face an unexpected rebellion that claimed the lives of 48 U.S. soldiers. Here is Pink Hilary Lasha, Pink.
The aftermath saw American troops bringing home the notorious three bells of Balangiga as war trophies. Currently housed in different locations, two rest in Yuming and one finds a place of display in an army base in South Korea, serving as memorials to the tragic battle. G. Michael Shelley, chairman of the American Legion's National Security Commission, emphasized that the memorial honors the soldiers' ultimate sacrifice. However, ethical questions arise regarding the appropriation of private religious property to honor fallen troops. Dean of St. Mary's University School of Law, Stephen Shepard, raises a poignant question: do we have the right to take their private religious property to honor the troops who died before we stole the bells? The Philippine-American War, marked by the controversial Battle of Balangiga, extended into the southern islands with estimates of the death toll ranging from 200,000 to 600,000. Captain Thomas E. Connell's order to detain able-bodied males in work camps further intensified hostilities. The attack of Balangiga, sometimes labeled a massacre, lasted 20 minutes, resulting in the death of 48 out of 78 men from Company C. Subsequent reprisals by U.S. troops under General Jacob Smith orders claimed as many as 50,000 Filipino lives. Filipino advocates see the bells as symbols of their country's struggle against foreign invaders and the suffering endured by the Filipino people. The journey of these bells to Yuming in South Korea remained a mystery of decades until efforts by historians like Bob Cauty shed light on their trajectory. Cauty's research traced the larger bells to Yuming and the smaller bells' journey through Fort Sam Houston in Texas, Fort Lewis in Washington, and finally to Camp Red Cloud in South Korea. The controversy surrounding the bells has become a diplomatic issue, with President Rodrigo Duterte urging the U.S. Congress to return them. Filipinos, particularly those in Balingiga, fervently expressed the sentiment, "We want the bells back." However, American veterans, especially from the 9th Infantry, view the Balingiga bell as a cherished relic. They argue that returning the bells would be an affront of veterans and tantamount to an apology or reward for their sacrifices. As calls for repatriation persist, The debate underscores the complexity of military memorials embodying unresolved historical conflicts. The differing perspectives symbolizing colonialism and war crimes for Filipinos and valor and sacrifices for American veterans highlight the nuanced nature of this historical controversy. The question lingers, will President Trump and Duterte find common ground and reach the compromise of the Bells of Balaniga, marking a novel departure in this perspective? Back to you, Liko.
Thank you, Ms. Lasha. Up next, in the government peace treatise with Muslim and Filipinos. Stay tuned for the details when we come back only here on the Chronoscope, where times unfolds.
Matagal na akong nandito sa Tagum City. Lumipat kami kasama ng kapatid ko dahil dito na kami nag-aaral. Kaya may mga pagkakataon na ginagabi ako sa pag-uwi. Isang gabi, habang naglalakad ako pa uwi, biglang bumagsak ang malamig na hangin. Nakarinig ako ng isang nakakakilabot na tinig mula sa anyo ng kanyang sariling bibig. Sa bawat hakbang na ginagawa ko, mas lumalakas ang hagupit ng aking nakaraan.
Please, tama na ako. Baka susundan. Please.
Parang isang bangungot na hindi ko kayang takasan.
We are back here on the Chronoscope, where times unfold, your portal to the past. We are back here on the Chronoscope, where times unfold, your portal to the past. In a bid to bring an end decades of conflict, the Philippines embarked on a journey toward peace negotiations with the Moro Islamic Liberation Front or MILF. While progress has been made, the road to a comprehensive peace accord has proven intricate, marked by historical pitfalls and ongoing challenges. Kim Lawas has the news.
The genesis of the negotiations dates back to the tumultuous Memorandum of Agreement on Ancestral Domain in 2008, a document that faced staunch opposition and led to the outbreak of violence. The Supreme Court's declaration of its unconstitutionally halted peace talks, leaving ones that took years to heal. In 2011, under the administrations of President Benigno Aquino III, negotiations resumed. The MILF presented a revised proposal, hinting at a sub-state setup. President Aquino, mindful of the constitutional pitfalls of the MOA ad, insisted on an accord within constitutional bounds. The subsequent 3-for-1 solution, proposing reforms to the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao, economic development, and historical corrections, faced initial rejections. Key stumbling blocks emerged, showcasing the complexities of the negotiations. Transition period, originally proposed as 7 years, reduced to 3, the timeline faced setbacks, including the Mama Sapano clash and disputes over the proposed law's content. Territorial claims, especially the opt-in provision, stirred controversy. House limitations raised concern. Wealth sharing and revenue generation control over natural resources caused deadlock. A 75% share for Bangsamoro was settled, but House changes altered the proposed scheme. Indigenous peoples and essential lands rights of indigenous people remained contentious. The MILF opposed the inclusion of IPRA in the BBL, expressing concerns about changes in protections. Policing and decommissioning control over the police force and decommissioning of MILF arms saw debates involving commitments from the MILF. As of May 2015, the proposed law sits pending in Congress. The clock is ticking to pass the bill, subject it to plebiscite and establish the MILF-led transition body. The negotiation process reflects a delicate balance, with both sides making concessions and facing internal dissents. As lawmakers grapple with the intricacies, the questions remains: can they navigate the complexities, meet constitutional requirements, and legislate a peace deal before the looming deadline? The ongoing saga of peace negotiations in the Philippines continues, with the hopes of a historic accord hanging in the balance. That's all for the government peace treaties with Muslim Filipinos. Back to you, Liko.
Underwent significant socio-economic changes from the mid-1960s to the early 1990s, marked by substantial growth in education in corporate sectors. This article delves into the key developments in education, exploring enrollment trends, gender distribution, quality concerns, affordability issues, and a notable corporate struggle as highlighted in the first letter of Junio Lopez, senior to President Marcos. For further information, here is Generos Ledesma, Jen.
Over the specified period, the Philippines witnessed a remarkable 58% increase in elementary school enrollment and an astonishing 326% surge in tertiary school enrollment. This surge underscored a growing demand for education across all levels of society. In the school year 1990 to 1991, there was a shift in academic preferences, with commerce and business courses experiencing a 29.2% increase in enrollment, and engineering and technology courses observing a 20.3% rise. At the elementary level, gender representation was nearly equal, reflecting a balanced participation of male and female students in foundation education. However, at the end, secondary and tertiary level, a shift occurred, with female enrollment surpassing that of males. Paradoxically, at the elementary and secondary levels, boys face higher rates of failures, dropouts, and repetition, indicating a complex dynamic in academic performance. A concerning trend was the decline in the quality of education, particularly at the elementary and secondary levels. This decline may have contributed to the challenges in academic performance and student retention. There was a stark disparity in educational achievements across social groups, highlighting affordability issues. Access to quality education became a critical concern affecting different segments of the population. The Philippine Constitution mandated the government to allocate the highest proportion of its budget to education. In 1964, Meralco Securities Corporation's offer of shares to employees and customers reflected financial turbulence within the corporate landscape. The period from the mid-1960s to the early 1990s in the Philippines was transformative, witnessing a surge in education alongside complex challenges in quality, affordability, and gender dynamics. Simultaneously, the corporate sector faced financial struggles, exemplified by the Meralco's plea for assistance. Understanding these historical intricacies provides valuable insights into the multifaceted journey of the Philippines during this pivotal era of societal evolution and economic change. That's all for the institutional history of schools, corporations, industries, and religious groups. Back to you, Liko.
Stay tuned to the most trusted network in history, the Chronoscope, where times unfold. We will back in a minute.
Alam natin ang feeling na yan. Yung sobrang init, pati ulo mo umiinit. Eh ang gusto mo lang naman ay mag-chill. Bigat sa feeling ng init na yan. Pero okay lang, dahil easy na lang mag-cool down with the #1 lemon and lime refreshment.
The C2 you've always loved turns a new leaf. C2 with a fresh new look. What you see is green. What you get is cool and clean. What you see is tea, brewed and bottled on the same day. What you get is 100% natural goodness. What you see is clear. What you get is real. Cool and clean C2, now with a new look.
Back to the most trusted network, the Chronoscope, where times unfold. The Philippines, an archipelago in Southeast Asia, boasts a rich tapestry of history where politics and religions have intricately woven together to shape the nation's social, cultural, and political identity. This article delves into the historical roots and contemporary dynamics of the relationship between politics and religions in the Philippines. For more info, here is Miss Pink Hilary Lasha. Pink.
Thank you, Ms. Lico. The Philippines, an archipelago in Southeast Asia, boasts a rich tapestry of history where politics and religion have intricately woven together to shape the nation's social, cultural, and political identity. This article delves into the historical roots and contemporary dynamics of the relationship between politics and religion in the Philippines. Before European colonization, the Philippines was a mosaic of diverse indigenous cultures, each with its unique beliefs and decentralized political structures. Animism and polytheism prevailed, with local chieftains leading their communities. The arrival of Ferdinand Magellan in 1521 marked the onset of its Spanish colonization. Led by Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, the Spanish introduced Catholicism. However, a significant Muslim minority, particularly in the South, and various Protestant denominations contribute to the religious diversity. The Catholic Church wields considerable influence in Philippine politics. It shapes public opinion on social issues such as birth control, divorce, and LGBTQ rights. The Church's endorsement or opposition to political candidates based on moral and social stances underscores its impact. While the Philippine Constitution mandates the separation of church and state, the boundary often blurs. Religious leaders actively participate in political discourse, raising questions about the extent of this separation. Led by Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, the Spanish introduced Catholicism, leaving an indelible mark on the archipelago. The Catholic Church became a central player in both religious and political spheres, aligning itself with the Spanish colonial administration. Following the Spanish-American War, the Philippines fell under American rule. Despite the introduction of democratic institutions, the Catholic Church maintained its influence, and resistance against American rule persisted. With over 80% of the population identifying as Roman Catholic, the southern Philippines, notably Mindanao, grapples with long-standing tensions between the government and Muslim separatist groups. Autonomy, land rights, and religious identity are focal points of these conflicts. While strides have been made towards secular governance, religious dynamics persistently influence political discourse and societal values. Understanding this nuanced interplay is paramount for comprehending the complexities of the Philippine socio-political landscape, where the echoes of history reverberate in the contemporary tapestry of the nation. Back to you, Lico.
This is the end of the most trusted network in history. Again, this is Rosa Lico, your anchor in the Chronoscope, where times unfold, your portal to the past. Good day, everyone!